Oh, and there we go. We're live. Morning, afternoon, wherever you are, whatever it is that you're up to today. I don't really know. It's Thursday. I've got a bit of a pain in the chest here. I don't know why. I just walked the dog. We're actually live yet again, not just on LinkedIn, but I'm such a smart ass. I've got us going on Facebook and I've got us going on YouTube all at the same time. So whoopie-doo. How good am I? Fig Jam, and for those you don't know what Fig Jam means, F-I-G-A-M, you can stick a comment in the section in the comments and let me know if you know what Fig Jam is. Today, I've been having some conversations. Let me just make sure I've got all my feeds running. Hang on about that. Okay. So today we've been having a couple of conversations about corporate social responsibility, blah, blah, blah. And yes, I know there's a lot of people in that space and it's great. And the whole aim of a corporate social responsibility is leadership around contributing to society's greater good, which is great. But I just question sometimes some of the strategies that are being used. And yeah, I know you can sell nappies and you can donate a percentage of the fee. I know you can, my good friend Gus Warland has got deodorants and stuff that's being sold in Chemist Warehouse, and a percentage of that goes to mental health. And I get it. I understand that side of corporate social responsibility and being the cause-related marketing side of it. But I just get confused sometimes when I see things around workplace giving and that side of the corporate social responsibility, because and this is I'm not slagging it off. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because any form of workplace giving is definitely a good thing. So I want to come and talk about that a little bit. So if you're interested in that space, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. But I'm also going to give you the top 3. So we've had some more people sign up overnight, as you probably know. If you've not checked out, I can never point this bloody thing in the right way. If you've not checked out that website yet, themeatmagic.org, that's the little social venture that we're setting up, which is now gaining quite a bit of traction. It's helping connect salespeople with business leaders, and it's helping business leaders to make a difference in their own life and in the life of other people by doing some good with their time. And it's raising money for charity, which is the whole point of setting this thing up in the first place. So here we go then, the top 3. So the latest 3 executives, look at my bloody hair. The latest 3 executives who have just signed up, and you can tell I don't really care, right, about my hair, that is. The latest 3 executives who have just signed up are Andrew Tobin, who's the CFO of Challenger Financial. And if you don't know who Challenger are, they've been around for donkeys. I think Kerry Packer had something to do with it years ago. In fact, on the park down here in Rushcutters, I regularly bump into Bill Ireland, who was the founder of Challenger. And so we have a bit of a chinwag sometimes down there. So Andrew Tobin, CFO, Challenger, good on your sunshine. Thanks for coming on board and supporting us. Francois Bench is number 2. He comes from Suncorp Bank. Sounds like a dating game, doesn't it? He comes from Suncorp Bank, and he's the Chief Data and Transformation Officer. And I love that word transformation, because I'm all about business 4.0. And then we've got, so thank you, Francois, for coming on board. We're very, very grateful. I know you've had a chat with Colin, who's our little legend on the phone, and we're very grateful for you coming. And Chris Lind is the Chief Compliance Officer for NAB. So there you go. 3 banks that have just given us their executives to come on board, pledge 45 minutes of time for a meeting for good, and that's going to make a massive difference. And this is where I want to link it back into the whole corporate social responsibility thing, because for those that don't know, the whole Meat Magic story started really around the time I met a charity called Feel the Magic. I was sort of doing some different things in between my corporate job, raising money for charity. I ended up putting this day on for some kids from Claymore, from a Claymore public school. We brought 300 disadvantaged kids from Claymore into Bondi, and my good friend Dave Jackson and Greg Scholten and a couple of others helped us out, put that day on. We managed to raise some money from some great people, Michael Hart, the CIO of Combank, Craig Goodman from the Goodman Group. Dave Jackson gave us $500 dollars, which is good. And so we raised this money and we put these 4 coach loads on of kids, and we brought them to Bondi Beach. Sonja Mold from Channel 9, who heads up 9 Cares, she helped us rope in the Bondi lifeguards and a couple of wallabies. And we gave these kids a cracking day out to help inspire them. And this is really for me, because I come from a shit part of town. I grew up with very little. Didn't have too much, no silver spoons, just pure grit and determination, nothing else. And so these kids reminded me of exactly how I grew up. So I thought, if somebody would have come to me and showed me that the people actually do care and want to help you, then I probably would have changed my life a little bit quicker than I did. So I thought, if we can change just one of these kids' lives to make a difference, then, hopefully it's done some good. The whole thing would have been worth it. So 300 kids, come on, 4 coaches, whatever it was, onto Bondi, some games on the beach with the lifeguards, with Reedy. Then we gave them a barbecue lunch, a bit of a waffling talk from me, and then some of the wallabies gave a talk, and then we sent all these kids home with a goodie bag full of smiggles and journals and stuff to write their dreams and their goals down with, because we all know, if you've got a goal and you've got a dream and it's written down, it's going to happen. But if you have a goal and a dream that's just stuck in here, ain't going nowhere. So just the best thing you can do is just get that thing down. So we thought, if we can help these kids get their dreams out of their head and put it on paper and let them realize that people actually do care, that you can step outside of your school zone or your area where you live and change your life, then you can. So off the back of that, Channel 9 introduced me to Feel the Magic, and a guy called James Thomas, who had a fledgling charity there, and that's where my name comes from, Meet Magic. And so, long story short, I ended up putting this thing together, looking at my skills, which were talking, clearly. Helping people was one of my things that I really love to do. Opening doors was something that I was really good at, and some of my friends called me the best door opener in town. I don't know why, but that's sort of stuck, and I think I've kind of lived into that. And so I looked at all these things that I was really good at, and then all the things that I really love to do, and I matched the two together, and that's what Meet Magic is. So it's not a job for me. It's my purpose. It's my passion. It's everything that I love to do. I love to watch salespeople get a meeting with the CIO, and I love to watch that meeting turn into a deal, and I love to watch that meeting turn into revenue, and I love to watch that money from that meeting go to charity, and win, win, win. There's no downside. So that's what Meet Magic is. And when we talk about the corporate social responsibility piece, for me, it means less talk and more action. It means actually living into what you're saying and doing what's coming out of your mouth is actually matching what's in your head and what's in your heart. And it's almost about aligning your hands and your head and your heart and making sure that you're delivering on what you say. And that it's just contribution in the right way. Hey, John, JD, Oksana, nice to see you. Thanks for joining in. Pratik from India. Nice work, Sunshine. And so for me, the whole corporate social responsibility thing was great. And this is a peeve that I've got. When you have companies talking about, let me take a sip of my cup of tea, hold on, waffling. Oh, take this tea bag. Oh. When you have companies that are talking about workplace giving is about giving. It's not about taking. So you can't hire people and then take some money out of their salary and call that workplace giving, because that's taking. So I know there's a lot of workplace giving strategies and techniques and whatever else, but I don't think giving people an opt-out option is really workplace giving. That's workplace taking. Now, forgive me if you want to, you can get on, you can call me whatever you want. I don't care. It is workplace taking, giving people, making people feel bad. By the way, we support this charity. We're going to take $5 a week from you, and you can opt out if you want to. Well, that's like kind of guilt tripping people into giving money, which I don't think is really good. And when I looked at this, I know that some companies have a strategy of getting 100 employees inside an organization to give $5 a week, and let's say you've got 100 people giving $5 a week inside. So let's pick Telstra as a company. If you can find 100 people inside Telstra to give $5 a week to go towards a Starlight Children's Foundation, well, that's great. That's going to raise $26,000 a year. Well, to get those 100 people on board giving that money, you got to have all your internal communication stuff and all that sort of waffle. Or you do the workplace taking strategy of just getting all the new employees to opt out. But when I looked at this and I thought about all the corporate social responsibility teams out there that have got or are looking for new strategies to adopt, and I thought about what we're doing and how really critical it is and how important it is for them to actually just at least entertain us and have a look at what we're doing, because those 100 people raising that $26,000 can be achieved by what we're doing, by connecting people in just 3 meetings per month. So this for me is really quite a bit of an eye-opener, because it's a little bit like that. It's a little bit like this, the person that's running with a wheelbarrow. They've got a wheelbarrow and they're running down the street, but the wheel is square. And I'm behind them with a round wheel saying, hey, slow down. I've got a round wheel for you here to make your life a bit easier. And they go, no, I'm too busy. That's what's going on. There are so many people running so busy still that they're missing how simple life should really be and how simple things can actually be. So, we've been having some conversations with some corporate social responsibility teams, and it's just becoming more clear to me that a lot of these old ways of doing things need to really change. Because let's just think, for example, if you've got 10 executives, C-suites, heads of corporate, CIO, CTO, CFO, whatever, just like the guys who have come on board, like Andrew and like Chris and Francois, who has just signed up with the Meeting for Good campaign with us. If you've got 5 of those, let's say, inside your organization, and each of those execs takes 1 meeting per, let's say per month, well, the amount of money that will be raised there towards the charities that you actually care about would be really, really powerful. And it's sustainable because it's ongoing, because there are plenty of companies out there that we've got clients that are the biggest technology companies on the planet that come to us to connect with companies like that. So if you're an executive and you're looking for something to do to make you feel better, make yourself feel better, or to just to contribute back to something, because you do have a title. Yes, that title is not forever. You're going to be a CIO for now, but you might not be tomorrow. You might not be the day after. So while you've got that title and why you have that agency, isn't it just best to use it for some good while you can? And we've got 229 or 230 now of these execs who have given us their time, 45 minutes. And in terms of corporate social responsibility, if you're a corporate social responsibility manager and you're looking for something for your executives to get involved in, well, have a look at the charities that you're working with, and have a consider that there's angles like the meetmagic.org story that can really leverage those execs. Now, a lot of these charities have got board members. Now, don't get me started on board member value, because I know board members do add a lot of value, and I know you're connected to lots of rich people, and so am I. But really, it comes down to adding value, literally, not just having a title of being on the board. It's about doing and actually adding value to that charity. And I've seen lots of charities just lately that are struggling to raise money. Now, let's take this back to the very, very, very first reason why Meet Magic was set up. And it's to create a sustainable way for charities to raise funds. So that means money coming in the door without having to do too much to get that money coming in the door. And that's what we want to create for these charities. And there are loads and loads of charities out there, and they've all got boards, and it's time the boards, stepped up and added some value and did stuff to make the charity that they're supporting more sustainable financially. And ways of doing that, of raising money, like what we're doing, is absolutely out there, and you should be looking at it. There are so many great little for-purpose companies out there, not just us, but there are so many for-purpose organizations that are out there in business, providing jobs, trying to make a living, I'm happy if I can put food on the table, and that's all my goal is every month is to pay the bills and put food on the table. And we've just given thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars over to Starlight, which is amazing. So I'm very grateful that we're able to do that. But if there's board members out there, or if you're on the advisory board or whatever it is that you're doing with your particular charity, I urge you, just have a look at some of these little companies like us that are doing good and also connecting people and connecting different corporate social responsibility teams to actually make a difference internally. So that's my bit of a waffle this morning, and thanks, Oksana. I appreciate your comments. But why not ask? Let's have a look. Why not ask employer, what course would you like to support? Well, exactly. I think when you look at what Oksana is saying is, why not ask your employer what cause you'd like to support? And I think that's really important, that when you look at the next generation of kids coming through the workforce, Gen Zers, well, if you try and force a charity down their throat, they're not going to care. They want to support the charities that they want to support. They don't want to support the stuff that you want to throw down their throat. So the whole Meet Magic story for us is, when we go back to the beginning of it, we get the executive to choose their charity of choice, and we supported many great organisations and created lots of stories. I'll never forget the one. I tell the one about the Millennium Foundation all the time, but there's also great ones from the Westpac execs who took a meeting and nominated Buyer Bail, which was supporting the farmers. And one of the things that I really love is that this executive, I think it was Deering Kilcarney, he's a CIO of one of the divisions of Westpac. He took a meeting, nominated the Buyer Bail charity, and that one meeting bought 12,000 litres of water for a farmer that's in drought. Well, just think about how much that water. These farmers were not having showers for weeks and weeks on end, so they could give their animals a drink. This is what the drought was doing, and so to know that one particular meeting can have such a massive impact on a farmer and its family and bring life, basically, was huge for me. So I love stories like that. I love the fact that the whole Meet Magic thing is all about stories. I love the fact that every single day a meeting takes place with Meet Magic and the Meeting for Good campaign. 18 seriously ill children are getting access to the Starlight Children's Room. Now, we're all on lockdown right now still, not only until Friday because everyone's going to get out on the piss again. But we're all on lockdown, and you're experiencing what isolation feels like. Imagine what those kids who are experiencing that isolation every single day are going through. They've got the fear of the unknown. They don't know if they're going to die or not, and yet here they are stuck in hospital in isolation. Well, that fear and that isolation, we're experiencing a little bit of it, and we're coming out of it. But just imagine those kids. So when we do one of those meetings, when we connect, and one of the vendors with a CIO, with a CTO, or with Challenger or a Suncorp or a NAB or a QBE, when that meeting happens, we know immediately that 18 of those kids are going to be able to go to a happy place in the Starlight Room. That for me makes me really happy. So this is really a bit of a shout out to all the corporate social responsibility team leaders and all those people that are out there talking about workplace giving and whatever else. Just take a stop for a minute and have a look at companies like Meet Magic. Have a look at the campaigns that we've got with Meeting for Good, and consider that all of your executives can get involved and do some good while they're at work. There's no behavior change. They don't have to do anything. We're not asking for their money. All we're asking for is 45 minutes of time, and that 45 minutes of time will put 18 seriously ill children into a happy place. I don't know how easy it could be, but if you're a board member and you're on the board of a charity and you want to come have a chat with us, then come and have a chat with us. If you're a corporate social responsibility team leader or executive and you want to come and have a chat with us, come and have a chat with us. We're more than happy to share what we've been doing, the learnings that we've had, the impact that these meetings are having, and the results, because the numbers don't lie, unfortunately, and what we're getting from these meetings is like almost a 90% satisfaction level from the execs, who are absolutely saying these meetings, they feel good about them and they're coming back for more. I know we've got people like Rob James from Vodafone is a big supporter of ours, and we're really grateful. People like Brad Blythe from Flybys in Melbourne, Andrew Matizak from West Farmers. These people, Anna from Westpac, these people have just been stalwarts for us, and they love these meetings, and they take these meetings. And for us, we're very, very grateful. But I think for them, they feel good. I think they feel really good about being able to do what they're doing every single day, taking a meeting, sitting in front of their laptop, and knowing that 45 minutes of time that they've just given has actually made a huge difference. So anyway, corporate social responsibility. Big old shout out to James Thomas and the Feel the Magic crew. I know you guys are just launching something special today, because Feel the Magic, if you don't know, Feel the Magic is a charity that helps kids deal with grief. So when they've lost a parent or they've lost a loved one, which is happening obviously a lot, these kids have to deal with the emotion of that grief, and if they don't deal with it, obviously it turns into other things later on down the track. So they give them the tools to be able to live a really good life after experiencing that loss, which is very powerful. They're doing some stuff online now. I think Deborah Hatton, one of the newsreaders, is on their ambassador board, and they've got a great team. And that is really where the Meet Magic name came from. And James and I have got the story about how all that unfolded on the growth project. Anyway, that's my waffle for Thursday. Thank you again, Andrew Tobin, CFO of Challenger. Thank you, Francois Bench, Chief Data and Transformation Officer at Suncorp. And thank you, Chris Land from NAB. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, not 3 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to have on anyone that's interested in digital transformation, and you should be, because it's Business 4.0. We've got one of the best keynote speakers on the planet in terms of digital transformation and understanding everything from the business in the boardroom right through to the brain, and how that all works in the digital world. He's coming on to give us a quick talk tomorrow. So if you're interested in understanding what that looks like, keep an eye out for the live. It's 4 o'clock till 5 o'clock. I think he's in the UK, Abe McCormack. So that will be 7 a.m. for him. So we're getting him out of his pit really early. Anyway, happy Thursday. I hope you're all having a cracking day. Don't forget, spread the word about meetmagic.org. Anyone looking for meetings, we've got 800 of the bloody things. 800 meetings, and you can book every single one of them if you want. Talk to you soon. Cheers.